Good morning, everyone, and happy Wednesday. It's time to get up and tune in to your daily Boss FM morning news. I'm Megan,
And I'm Krisitan.
and today we have some more updates on justice against the DC insurrection, vaccines, and so much more. So let's get into it.
Wake the streets up. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Wake the streets up. Okay. Come on. Okay. Wake the streets up. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Wake the streets up. Yeah. Okay.
Good morning, everyone. So our first story up this morning. Guy Reffitt, a Texas man who partook in the insurrection on January 6th, has been arrested, and he's being accused of threatening to shoot his two children if they turned him in. In an interview with the FBI, Reffitt's son stated that his father told the family that he went to the Capitol with a GoPro camera strapped to his helmet. Reffitt is alleged to have then later threatened to put a bullet through his daughter's cell phone if she mentioned or recorded his comments on social media. His wife told investigators during an argument, he told his children that if one of them turned him in, quote, "You're a traitor, and you know what happens to traitors, ... traitors get shot," end quote. Now, his wife says he did make these statements. However, she is adamant that he would never actually act out on them. I don't get how the whole family, the wife, the daughter, and the son, who have all been threatened and witnessed this, how do you not think that he would carry out on this? Why would you turn him in if you weren't sure that this is something he'd actually act out on?
I agree, and also it's just scary. And it just goes to show if he might not have done anything violent at the Capitol, he might have just been an observer, but obviously there's violence in him.
And there's already been 3 arrests with the inauguration in just a couple hours. With over 50,000 National Guard members there, they've caught, up until this point at least, 3 of them who weren't actually in the National Guard. It's scary. It's very scary. Stay on alert.
Definitely.
Soon, there's going to be another vaccine on the market, and Megan has all the details on that. Tell us more, Meg.
Well, of course, Christian. While it's still in its early stages, a new type of COVID vaccine is in the works. This one is a nasal spray, and it is shown to be effective in the animal testing phase. In testing, this vaccine not only protects from COVID, it has benefits as well. The rodents who are the test subjects have had reduced lung damage and disease severity. It has also helped reduce the transmission of the disease as the vaccine quickly travels to the lungs. This vaccine still has a long way to go as human testing has not even started.
Yes, it is. I'm happy to see that we have options with the vaccine now, but I do know, as stated, that this is a vaccine that's being geared towards communities that are underdeveloped.
Yes, and only time will tell, I guess. We still haven't moved into the human trials yet, but hopefully we will start being able to give it out because the nasal spray is less invasive. It means people who might have aversions to needles or blood clotting disorders would be able to get it without fear.
Yes, it's absolutely nice to see that we're having options moving forward with the COVID vaccines. And like anything else, things will get better with time, and we'll keep you updated here on Boss FM with all your vaccine updates.
And back to stories about the inauguration, Christian has something to tell us about Kamala Harris. Christian?
That's right, Megan. On Monday, Vice President-elect Kamala Harris officially resigned her post as a senator in California, which is a necessary step for her to make history, becoming the first Black woman, to serve as the Vice President of the United States. Now, it is important to note, as her leaving her spot in the Senate, there is no longer a Black woman serving in the Senate. Last month, Gavin Newsom appointed California Secretary of State Alex Padilla to Harris's seat, making him the first Latino to represent California in the Senate. Newsom's choice, as historic as it is, does come with backlash as lawmakers urged him prior to put another Black woman in Harris's seat. Tasia Brown, the chair of the California Democratic Party Black Caucus, pointed to Newsom's appointment as just one more example of ways in which Black women are valued in the Democratic Party only as voters, not as leaders. She said, quote, "Too often, Black women are overlooked, but often they are the backbone of the Democratic Party. We do all the sweat, equity, and work for candidates, and we're never rewarded." Harris was just the second Black woman to serve in this position, second to Carol Moseley Braun, the Democratic from Illinois, who served from 1993 to 1999. Harris would come 17 years later. It took 17 years after the first Black woman before we even got a second one, and now we're losing another one. And I think a fear with that, now Kamala, we know she straddled the line of conservative her whole career. So my fear is the person that comes in and replaces her will be Republican.
Exactly. I think it's really important that we have a more diverse Senate, and it's sad that I have to even say that.
Next up, Megan has a story for us out of Texas, something that I never thought I would hear, a hospital being closed for non-payment of rent. Megan, tell us more about that.
Yes, of course. Doctors and patients of Heights Hospital in Houston were unable to enter the clinic building on Monday. There was a sign on the door that read, quote, "Please be advised that the door locks to the leased premises have been changed, and tenants shall be excluded therefrom due to non-payment of rent," end quote. The hospital had over $1 million in unpaid rent. Doctors pleaded to be let in so they could treat patients, but the request fell on deaf ears. It seemed that every organization was pointing fingers at the other. Instead, patients were treated with limited supplies in the parking lot, and many of them were turned away.
The parking lot. They were number one, some were turned away, some were served in the parking lot. But what this shows to me is the clearest example of America putting money over the lives of its citizens.
There was one person who was in a couple news articles saying that he gets almost weekly care there due to some injuries that he sustained. And so it's really setting him back in his work week to not be able to just do what he does every week, which is go to the clinic. There was also a COVID-19 positive patient that was trying to get treatment who had to be turned away because they had no room and there was no place to put them since they were in the parking lot. The fact that they went in there in the middle of the night and changed the locks and then didn't tell any of the doctors and the patients in the morning, it feels very bureaucratic and cold.
Very tragic. It comes down to the money. All right, everyone, that is it for your Boss FM news this morning. If you'd like to rewatch any of our shows, as always, you can tune in on the Boss FM app, which is available for download in the App Store, or check us out on any of our social media platforms. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Megan.
Y'all have a great day.
Yeah.